Welcome to Peter's Perfect Cheesecake and More. Today we're not making cheesecake. We're making flourless chocolate torte, which is pretty easy.
Pretty easy.
Because how many ingredients do we have?
4.
Yeah.
But 5 if you're counting the water.
Exactly. 4 main ingredients. We're adding water. Does it count? You be the judge. We have 18 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. You can use Baker's Secret, or you can use Ghirardelli. Doesn't really matter. Unsalted butter, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, 6 eggs. Steph, we're going to start by putting the eggs in the mixer. Can you do that for me?
Yep.
All right, I know you'll be careful. Can you lift the mixer up?
Yep.
All right. Can you start it? We'll mix up the eggs.
What speed?
I don't know, maybe 2.
Okay.
So we're going to mix the eggs for a minute or 2, and then we're going to go over the stove and melt some chocolate and butter. We'll be right back. So Stephanie,
What?
we need to put the butter in there
Yep.
and the chocolate in the double boiler.
Okay.
Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
Should fall right in there. There you go. And you want to put the chocolate in there also? So far so good. Now we're going to have to do 2 more things. Maybe I can help you.
Okay.
I'm going to come over here.
Yep.
And we're going to put the cup of water in a pan. Pretty straightforward. And 3/4 cup of sugar in the same pan. And we're going to turn the double boiler on and the stove on, and we're going to melt everything.
Do we have to stir that?
Yes, we do.
Yes, okay.
Good plan. I'm glad you told us. We'll be back in a minute after everything is stirred and melted. So you can see here, we're just going to stir the sugar and water together, and it's going to eventually go into solution. And the chocolate is melting. You can see it's melting a little bit. We'll be back when everything is melted. We have turned the heat up to bring this to a boil, and now we've turned it down to a simmer. So it's just simmering in the pot, and all the sugar has gone into solution. And over here, the butter is melting and the chocolate is melting, and I'm going to get Stephanie to stir it a little bit so it all comes together. Go ahead, Steph. You got to be careful, all right? And as soon as that is all together, we're going to add the simple syrup into the chocolate. But it probably won't be for a couple of minutes. The chocolate is almost melted. So we've poured the simple syrup in with the chocolate and the butter, and Stephanie is stirring it. It's going to all come together. We're going to stir it for just a minute or 2, and it will all come into a nice thin chocolatey solution. You're going to see that it becomes almost like chocolate water.
Actually, right now I don't understand how this is going to come into a cake, but I trust your madness. So.
You trust my madness. I love that. Stephanie has whisked this,
Yep.
and you can see that it's just like, almost looks like chocolate water. It's very thin. It's all together. The butter, the chocolate, and the simple syrup.
It's a bit like chocolate syrup.
It's a bit like chocolate syrup. That's right. So now we're going to add this to the eggs. And the really, really, really important thing is that you can't add the warm chocolate to the eggs too quickly. Because what happens is, if you do add something really hot to the eggs, they scramble.
Oh.
And if you want scrambled eggs, that's great. But if you want a flourless chocolate torte, not so great. I'm going to take this out. You're going to grab the spatula,
Okay.
and we're going to put this in with the eggs. Let me come around you. And why don't you raise up the mixer? Okay, and you want to turn it on to like 2 or 3, whichever one you want. Yeah, maybe one more click. Great. And now I'm going to start pouring this in, and you're going to clean out the you're going to spatula out the pan in a minute. So you see, we're just putting in a little bit at a time. Just a little drizzle. And you could probably turn the speed up 1 more click. So now I'm just pouring the chocolate in. It's not scrambling.
That's why you do it very slowly.
Right. No scrambled eggs. Not good. And once the eggs have come up to temperature, you can pour in the chocolate a little bit faster. All right, now Stephanie, it's your job to clean out the bowl and put it in there. Great, keep going, you're doing great. Stephanie, can you turn off the whisk, the mixer? All right, so we've mixed this for about a minute or so. And just enough so the eggs and the chocolate and the butter and the simple syrup have all kind of combined. Now, can you put the mixer down?
Of course.
I'm going to take this off because we don't need it anymore.
No.
I'm going to try not to make a mess. That could be hard. When you work with chocolate, you're always making a mess.
And remember, as good as this looks, it has eggs, so you can't eat it.
Correct.
Well, right now.
Okay. Steph, we got to prepare the springform pan
Okay.
for the batter. So what I want you to do is have a piece of parchment paper. This is just a regular 10-inch springform pan. And you're going to rub butter all over the bottom.
So we peeled some of the top of the butter
Yeah.
container off.
Spread away. Excellent. Got to get the whole area. Yeah, pretty much you have to worry about the bottom. The sides, not so much, but whatever you want to do. Go all around the outside.
I love spreading butter.
You like spreading butter?
Yeah.
Yeah, here, let me just, there we go. All right, now, can you hold on to that?
Yep.
Now we got to put on the parchment paper and press that against the butter. And then can I have a turn?
Of course.
All right, great. And then I'm going to put butter all over the parchment paper. And once that's all covered, then we're going to pour the batter in. You want to take this off the mixer?
Yep.
And want you to pour that in to the springform pan.
Okay.
There you go. Why don't I hold that and you can clean it out with a spatula.
Oh, yay.
We'll turn it out there. Get it all in there. You got it all, Steph?
Almost, yep.
All right, I think that's close enough.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just get the last little bit. We got it all. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to fold up. We're going to fold up this aluminum foil because we're going to put this in a water bath on a pan.
Almost reminds me of a water bath for cheesecake.
Exactly right. That's exactly what we're doing. And this just makes it watertight so the water doesn't get in with the Flourless chocolate torte.
You don't want that to happen or it will taste very bad.
Yep. You want to hold on to that?
Yeah.
I'm going to hold on to this if you put the pan down on the counter. Now, what are we going to do?
We're going to fill this with water.
Why don't we put it in the oven first,
Oh,
then we'll put it
yeah.
with water. Great idea. We're going to meet you at the oven in just a second. So, Steph, you ready to put it in the oven?
Of course.
Excellent. I'll open it for you. You got to be careful because it's hot. Good job. All right, now you want to grab the water
Okay.
and you want to pour the water into the pan. Oh, well done. And it's just about a quart of water. You just need about half an inch of water. Stephanie, at what temperature are we going to bake this?
We're going to bake this at 350 degrees.
350 degrees. And about how long are we going to bake it?
We're going to bake it for 50 minutes.
50 minutes at 350 degrees.
50.
50.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm going to set the timer for 50 minutes.
Okay.
And then we'll be back in 50 minutes to take it out.
Okay.
Sounds good. We'll
See
be
you
back.
then.
The torte has been cooled for about an hour. You can leave it out and let it cool. You can put it in the refrigerator and let it cool. Whatever you like. But now we're just going to free up the outside. It should have contracted a little bit, but we'll just make sure it's free on the sides. And then we're going to release it from the springform pan, just like that. And now, Steph,
Yes.
we're going to flip it over.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is put a little piece of saran wrap on the top. And then you're going to put this on top of that.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yep.
And let me get another pan for you. All right, put it right on top.
Ooh.
Okay, now you're going to put your right hand on the top. And then you're going to slide it off and put your left hand on the bottom. And flip it over. Awesome. We'll free it up from the pan. And there you go. Now we're going to take the parchment paper off. We're going to center this on the torte. And now you're going to do the exact opposite.
Okay.
There you go. And you're going to flip it this way. Perfect. Now we're going to take this off.
Oh,
And
wow.
look at that. Saran wrap came off. What we're going to do is make a ganache, because we got to make the top really pretty. All right, so we're going to go over to the stove and make a ganache. What we're going to do is we're going to make the ganache.
Okay.
There's half a cup of light cream. It's going to go in the pan. Then we're going to turn on the stove. Actually, I'm going to turn on the stove.
Yeah.
And then we're just going to heat up the milk, or the cream, for probably about a minute, minute and a half, just till it starts to bubble. Then after it bubbles, we're going to add the chocolate and we're going to whisk it together. So we'll be back in a minute as soon as this starts to bubble, and we'll stir in the chocolate. So Steph, it looks like we got some bubbles around the outside. That's all you really need.
Okay.
It's just to heat up the milk. So why don't you drop the chocolate in there? Just pour it right in. Here, I'll lower the heat so you don't get burned. There you go.
You want to do it pretty close to the bowl, so no.
It doesn't splash?
Yeah, it doesn't splash.
All right, now that that's in there, we're going to turn off the heat, and you're going to take the whisk,
Yep.
and you're just going to slowly whisk it. It's going to get soft pretty quickly. That's nice and slow, nice and easy. It will melt. So we'll do this for about a minute, and just till it incorporates, and then we'll come back. Stephanie, it looks like you made ganache.
Yes.
You can stir it a little bit more.
Okay.
And it looks like it's ready to go. And for the people at home, you might have noticed that I have some white chocolate on a double boiler, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that in a couple of minutes. But for right now, we're going to take the ganache over to the table. I'll take this. If you grab your chair,
Yep.
we'll go over. Have a seat. We're going to decorate this.
Yay. Fun part.
The fun part. Yes. Okay, we're going to get rid of this. Pour this on top of the torte. You can probably pour like half of it. We'll see how much that goes. Yeah, I think it's pretty good right there. Now, offset spatula.
I've always wanted to use one of these.
Yeah, so you're just going to spread it around. All right, there you go. Now, what I like to do,
Yeah.
let me just teach you, if you take it and you just bring it to the end and run it off the edge, it kind of, that's kind of what you want to do. So why don't you try that? And if you make a mess, so what? Don't press too hard. Okay, let's pour a little more ganache on there. All right, just gently, don't press down too hard. All right, and we'll keep doing this until it smooths out. Do I get a turn?
Of course.
Oh, thank you. You were doing a great job.
Yeah.
But let's just...
It takes practice.
It does take practice, but you're doing great. And I've done this a couple times. You might know that.
Oh, yes I do.
So we're just going to use the offset spatula just to get out to the edges. And if you want to run it down the sides and cover the sides, that's okay. But I think that looks pretty good.
It does.
And now I have cut some strawberries
Ooh.
and some blackberries. and we're going to decorate this. What I would suggest is maybe put one right in the middle.
You can do it with any kind of fruit you
You
like.
can. And at the end of the video, I submitted some pictures, and you can see some different decorating ideas. You can use strawberries, you can use raspberries, you can use blackberries. And Steph, what I found is maybe we'll put 4 more. So why don't you put one there at like 4 o'clock and one there at like 8 o'clock and maybe a couple more, like one in between there, one in between there. And you know what? I'm going to quick go cut another strawberry because I think we need one more.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back. All right, so we're back. I cut another strawberry. Stephanie, you want to throw one in that last space there?
Yeah.
So now we're going to put some blackberries in between the strawberries, make it look really pretty. Can I put one or two on?
Oh,
You look like you're doing a great job, but there we go. Great. I think one more right there, and I think we're done with the berries.
Ooh,
Awesome.
that looks pretty.
And now, remember we saw that white chocolate on the double boiler? We're going to get that, we're going to put it in a squeeze bag, and we're going to drizzle white chocolate over the top. I think we're going to make it look pretty. What we've done is got some white chocolate in a double boiler. I put it in a bag, cut a hole in the bottom, and we're going to drizzle white chocolate all over. Kind of in a circular motion, kind of in a pattern, whatever. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Maybe in the middle too. There we go. I think we did it. I think that's enough.
Yep.
Yeah. You want to put a little more?
Oh, yeah.
What the heck. Put a little more. All right, maybe over in that little corner.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're done. Great. Nice job. You didn't burn your hand?
Nope.
That's a great thing. So, did we do a good job?
Oh, yes, we did.
And are you going to have some of this?
Oh, yes, I am.
And more importantly, is your mother going to have some of this?
Yes, because she's gluten-free, so anyone that's gluten-free can eat this.
Because there's no gluten, there's no flour, so there's only, are there 4 or 5 ingredients? What are we going to call it?
I would say 5.
5, all right.
Because, yes, you
'Cause
have
there's
to
water.
make the simple syrup.
That's right, you got to make the simple syrup. So there's water, sugar, butter, chocolate, and eggs. That's it. And there's white chocolate. And there's fruit, of course, but that's gluten-free too, right?
Okay, yeah.
So let's show everybody a picture of our beautiful flourless chocolate torte. And you're going to see lots of different design suggestions on the video. And I have to ask you the question again.
What?
How easy is flourless chocolate torte to make?
So easy, a 10-year-old can do it.
Exactly. We'll see you next time. And remember, if you're in upstate New York, go to Athos.
I don't have my apron on.
But she has her Chef Stephanie apron on there. Very nice. We'll see you next time. Thanks again.